We started.
It's very fast. Yeah, Marina. You met Ernesto De Sousa very early in the 70s. Do you remember?
1 second. When I look in the camera, look to him. And he's not in the picture. He's
No, I'm
not in the picture. You stand there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can advise.
You met Ernesto De Sousa very early in the 70s. Do you remember the circumstances you met him?
Yeah, it was the time when I was actually still a student in Art Academy, and I was in Belgrade, and there was a symposium of one of these art historian ICA meetings, and I remember he was there in audience. Actually, no, I was in audience. Stop. Who was in audience? Yes. Okay.
So,
You met Ernesto De Sousa in the beginning of the 70s. Do you remember how?
The circumstances was I was in Yugoslavia, and there was the symposium of ICA, and he was one of invited guests. And I remember I was in audience, and I was in academy, just a student of art in that time. And I remember I wanted to ask him a question, but it was so long the time ago, I just can't recall what kind of question it was. But I know that all these members of ICA was ignoring this young audience in that time, you know, didn't have much rights. And I remember that he actually noticed me from the crowd and gave me the possibility to talk. And this was the first time. And then later on, it was in many different circumstances I met him, mostly in all the big events, art events, Venice Biennales, you know, the art fairs, many times in Italy. That was the circumstances.
And you've been with him here also in Portugal during the 80s?
Yes, actually I saw him in 80s, and I also stayed in his wonderful house in Centro. He just gave me, after one of performances Who Like Me we done in Gulbenkian Foundation, he said, okay, now you need rest. So we went and stayed in this place in Centro for a few days.
What's the memory that you keep of Ernesto?
But if I think now back, the memory was, I think the main thing about this, of him, you know, as a person, it was a kind of intensity he radiated, you know, and I remember his eyes very strongly. And I think it was endless curiosity this man had for everything what's happening, and he really was in right time, in right place. And that's the really vitality he had, the one thing what is the most memorable, I think.
Eu acho que ficava... Well, I think that's it. Okay.
It's true. Yeah, this.
Delfim! Desculpa, podem repetir, porque ela começou a falar. Ouve-se a água.
Yeah, so we go.